We welcome all our viewers to today's edition of Money Moves. I am Melissa Enoch, live here at the FMDQ studios in Lagos.
And I am Grace Agbaragu. We thank you for joining us at this time on the show.
Let's tee off now with News Now. Nigeria will host the 2027 edition of the Intra-African Trade Fair, IATF, with Lagos announced as the host city. The flag of IATF 2027 was formally handed over to former President of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, and Industry, Trade and Investment Minister, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole in Algiers, where the 2025 edition is currently underway. The 5th edition of the Pan-African Trade Fair and Exhibition is expected to attract thousands of businesses, investors, and delegates, positioning Lagos as a major hub for continental trade under the AfCFTA. Let's take a listen.
Thank you.
In Algeria, the 2025 Intra-African Trade Fair has opened today in Algiers, serving as the continent's premier platform for trade and investment. The event brings together governments, businesses, and investors to showcase opportunities and build strategic partnerships. The fair aims to drive Africa's economic integration and boost intra-continental trade flows. Let's listen.
The World Trade Organization, despite Africa, has got the position of the general manager for the first time in history, that this acquisition and this position that we've got doesn't cover the fact that Africa is limited in its status in decision making within this organization, which is the World Trade Organization. The second data as the quota of Africa in the world trade does not exceed 3%, and it's nothing compared to the resources that constitutes 30% of the world trade, the world natural resources. So, and it has more than 1.5 billion of population, constituting that a market, a consumption market that is a growing one and great. And the quota of Africa in terms of the investment to Africa does not exceed 94 billion USD. This is too low if in terms of comparison. This is the lowest quota in the world. In fact, the direct investment of and the quota it's 6% of the overall of investment.
In aviation news, Mozambique will create a special purpose vehicle to channel a $130 million bailout for national airline LAM, the government has announced. The entity will be jointly owned by Hidroelétrica de Cahora Bassa, Caminhos de Ferros de Mozambique, and Empresa Moçambicana de Seguros, which will acquire shares in the carrier. The measure is designed to stabilize LAM's operations and strengthen its capital base, providing a lifeline to Mozambique's struggling flagship airline. In regional trade news, Kenya's Match Masters has filed a case against Tanzania at the East Africa Court of Justice, challenging a new import tax on matchboxes. The company argues the levy breaches East African Community Common Market rules and is asking the court to strike it down. The dispute underscores rising trade tensions in the region as businesses resist policies they say undermine cross-border integration. In central banking news, Mamo Miretu has resigned as governor of the National Bank of Ethiopia, closing a 7-year public service career marked by major economic reforms. Appointed in January 2023, he spearheaded a modern monetary policy framework, advanced moves toward a market-based exchange rate, and secured $10.5 billion in global financing. Under his tenure, the central bank gained greater autonomy, opened the financial sector to foreign banks, and expanded digital inclusion. Miretu said he was leaving to pursue other passions, describing his service as an honor. Finally, on News Now, Namibia is hosting the Global Forum on Inclusion, bringing together policymakers, business leaders, and civil society to advance strategies for equity, diversity, and sustainable development. The gathering focuses on promoting inclusive policies that strengthen communities and economies across Africa and beyond. In his remarks, the governor of the Bank of Namibia highlighted financial inclusion as a key driver of empowerment, economic growth, and long-term development. Let's listen.
We made good progress overall around financial inclusion over the past years. Accessibility and affordability of financial inclusion have brought more vulnerable groups into the fold of inclusive finance. The widespread adoption of digital payments has greatly reduced gender and wealth disparities in financial services usage. Despite this notable progress, there are still an estimated 1.4 billion unbanked people, mostly in developing countries. The degree of anxiety about one's financial situation, about retirement cost, medical expenses due to major illnesses, monthly bills, and education cost is also becoming a measure of financial inclusion, which is difficult to ignore. These concerns call for sober reflection. We have got, despite the progress we made, a lot of work to do. As Nelson Mandela said, the higher you climb, the more mountains you still need to climb. So we made good progress, but we still have a lot.
I am Melissa Enoch, and that's it on News Now. Our Markets Round returns after the break with Grace at the FMDQ Archives Room.
The AFCFTA Secretariat invites you to the 2025 IATF Intra-Africa Trade Fair, which will be held from the 4th to the 10th of September in Algeria. The Intra-Africa Trade Fair is a very important platform for creating opportunities for networking, business connectivity, and exhibition of products and services. The IATF is the marketplace for the AFCFTA. A population of 1.4 billion people with a combined GDP of $3.4 trillion, the AFCFTA is the largest free trade area in the world by number of participating countries. Private sector remains central to the success of the AFCFTA. During this edition of the IATF, we hope to surpass the number of $42 billion of trade deals that was concluded in the last edition in Cairo. We expect to convene over 35,000 delegates and showcase more than 2,000 exhibitors. I invite all of you to come to Algiers, bring your products, bring your goods, bring your services, to exhibit them, to create new opportunities for your businesses, market connectivity. We believe the IATF will offer you the opportunity that you need to scale your business. I look forward to seeing all of you in Algeria. Thank you.
This annual gathering represents not just a meeting of minds, but a powerful platform for important debate on the future of our continent. A future where energy security and sustainability are within reach.
African countries account for almost 20% of the global population, but only for 4% of the world's total energy investment. Now, this imbalance should be ringing an alarm bell for all of us.
Our priority must continue to be to end energy poverty for all Africans, as well as create an enabling environment where the oil and gas industry can thrive, be beneficial for local content, as well as be responsible with the environment.
Visit www.aecweek.com to register today. The African Energy Week, it's more than just a conference.
Welcome back to Money Moves. Let's now go over to Grace for our market updates. Hello there, Grace.
Thank you, Melissa. Now let's track today's trading day, beginning with equities. Here in Nigeria, the NGX All-Share Index closed at a positive of 0.60%. The BROVM in Abidjan gained 0.29%. The EGX was closed for today, observing Prophet Muhammad's birthday holiday. Morocco's MASI rose 0.14%, while in South Africa, the JSA slipped 0.58%. Let's do a quick round on some of the Pan-African currencies. The rand weakened 0.52% to 17.78 rand per dollar, while the Egyptian pound was steady, edging up 0.03%. The CFA franc advanced 0.68%, and the Kenyan shilling firmed 0.06%. Meanwhile, the Moroccan dirham strengthened 0.18%, but the naira slumped 1.12% to 1,520 naira 13 kobo at the official window. Let's switch to the commodities data deck, beginning with energy prices. Brent crude slid 1.24% to $66.76 per barrel, while the US WTI fell 1.25%. Natural gas jumped 1.14%, and ROBOB gasoline held steady, up just 0.04% as of 13:03 GMT. Now, finally, to soft prices. Cocoa fell 1.17% as coffee also edged down 0.15%. Cotton slipped 0.39%, while palm oil rose 0.27%. Sugar fell 0.75% to $15.91 as at 13:09 GMT. And that's our Money Moves markets today. Over to you, Melissa.
Grace, thank you very much for those market updates. And that's it for today's edition of Money Moves. From all of us here at the FMDQ studios, we say thank you for watching and bye for now.